Welcome to Bad Gear, the show about the world's most hated audio tools. We have reached the era of analog baroque, an awe-inspiring abundance of ornate Euro-rec equipment, the return of colossal polys, and consumers are overwhelmed by the baskets of music tech fruit and flowers offered to us almost on a daily basis. Today we are going to talk about the Monotribe. This ribbon controller-based analog groovebox was, together with Korg's own Monotrons, one of the first mass-market instruments to herald the analog renaissance that defined the music production landscape of the 2010s. After the digital feature overload of the 90s and noughties and given the minimalist design of the 2011 Monotribe, people might have asked themselves, what are we supposed to do with it? Actually make music? At the first glance, the Monotribe is ticking all the boxes. A respectful nod to Korg's mostly digital Electribe line, a utilitarian yet oddly stylish retro user interface, and a ribbon controller with too many black keys for my taste. The announcement of the instrument must have felt like an alien landing back in the days. Noisy mono output, 8-step sequencer, no MIDI, a basic sync interface, and barebone synth engine. This synth engine revolves around one beefy oscillator and a 12 dB MS-20 style filter, which is, of course, capable of self-oscillation and therefore a never-ending source of analog squeals in its own right. Unlike the even more scaled-down Monotrons, the Monotribe comes with a primitive envelope that can be set to punchy, organ-like, and slow attack. It doesn't have any controls for the release stage and has a tendency to sound a bit clicky. I like the noise generator. The LFO section is surprisingly powerful. It can be routed to oscillator pitch, filter cutoff, or both. You can use it as an additional envelope in one-shot mode, and the 2-speed modes are chosen wisely. There's a hidden sample and hold mode too. All this unexpected analog goodness can be controlled with the aforementioned ribbon controller. Key mode for more conventional melodies. Narrow is quite similar to the behavior known from the Monotrons. And there's an octave switch. The Monotribe covers a range of around 6 octaves, one more than David Lee Roth, which can be played in their entirety in wide mode. The synth engine really comes to life when used with the sequencer. A major firmware update pimped it to 16 steps. And the instrument makes it easy to constantly modify and tweak the pattern. Dorian concept like rapid-fire octave switches, on-the-fly electro bass lines, and no risk, no fun snapping into grid of patterns recorded in the non-quantized flux mode. Nice. Note length can be modulated in real time. Active step mode is fun for fills. And there's basic volume automation. The fully analog drum section consists of kick, snare, and hats. These sounds have a distinct vintage flavor to them. There is no way of tweaking them, levels are fixed, but Korg implemented drum rolls. The unit holds exactly one pattern, it can be powered using batteries, you can sync it to Korg's iOS Sync Control app and be ready to go down a rabbit hole of epic proportions if you want to mod and hack the instrument. This one was retrofitted with a DIN Tribe DIN MIDI mod by the previous owner, which turns it into a completely different instrument. Monotribes are readily available on the used market and still quite affordable. The Monotribe is a piece of modern music tech history. Is it still worth it given the many affordable alternatives, both compact and modular? You have already heard the midified Monotribe in today's intro tune. These drums ain't no TR-707, but the synth holds up pretty well. A few hours of Monotribe use won't turn me into Kid Schulke, and I had yet to realize there was a 16-step sequencer. This was barely scratching the surface, but I think the overall sonic qualities of the instrument have become obvious. Simple drums, a performance-oriented sequencer and a synthesizer with proper acidity. In order to get the most out of the Monotribe, you will have to put in a little practice, or, like me, get a modded one with MIDI. I wanna know if it can handle more complex patterns from the BeatStep Pro. The synth is pedal friendly and has no problems keeping up with the big drums of the Yamas. I especially like the LFO. Let's up the tempo a bit in this home listening only, sour like toxic waste, candy, break and bass electronica. The Korg Monotribe is easy to understand yet hard to master. You will be cranking out acid lines, retro drum tracks and a jacuzzi of analog bubbles within a few minutes, but at least in its unmodded state I found it challenging to turn all this into actual music. Using the ribbon can be frustrating, quite often the clicky envelope leaves a blemish on otherwise great sounds, but the 16-step update will leave DFAM users jealous. If you want that Monotribe DNA in your music, a Volca drum machine and a Monologue might be a more versatile alternative, but given the recent track record of Bad Gear episodes suspiciously coinciding with the release of new iterations of the featured instrument, we might as well wait for a Monotribe 2. And don't forget to add a fancy display. Thanks for watching and see you next time! Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Feel free to like, subscribe, become a patron and leave a comment what other kind of gear you would like to see and hear on the show. Thanks to all my patrons for supporting the channel and welcome to the monthly Vocoder Shoutouts. Tier 4. Let's listen to the vocoders of some classic compact synth keyboards.
Hashtag Hardware the MIDI maniac. Set in the sun. Polaroids of the pyramids. Trace the landscape.
Time to combine them for Tier 6. Again, thank you so much for supporting the channel. See you next month.